El tomate Flavr Savr fue el primer alimento genéticamente modificado que llegó al mercado. Calgene, la empresa que produjo el tomate, había realizado 3 estudios de alimentación en ratas y encontró lesiones en los estómagos de algunas de ellas. A pesar de las objeciones de científicos del gobierno, los tomates fueron autorizados en 1994. El tomate Flavr Savr se echaba a perder al transportarse y no era popular, por eso fue sacado del mercado. La primera vez que muchos estadounidenses se enteraron de que los alimentos genéticamente modificados ya eran parte de su dieta fue en el 2001.
Last fall, during lunch with coworkers, Grace Booth enjoyed 3 chicken enchiladas. The food, she recalls, was very good, but then something went very wrong.
And I felt my chest getting tight, and it was hard to breathe.
She didn't know, but she was going into shock.
What are you thinking at this point?
I thought, oh my God, what is happening to me? What is going on? Something is very, very wrong. I felt like I was going to die.
In the emergency room in nearby Oakland, the diagnosis was severe allergic reaction. And from here, Grace Booth's story reached official Washington. At the time, the national corn market was in an uproar. Starlink, a gene-modified corn not approved for human food, had been found in taco shells, and recalls were emptying the shelves of corn products. The fear was possible allergic reactions.
If I want a bowl of cornflakes, I want to know that it's safe to eat a bowl of cornflakes.
Do you feel that level of safety right now?
Absolutely not.
It is almost inevitable that there have been thousands of people that have had from a very mild to perhaps serious allergic reaction to Starlink, you know.
If it had not been for public interest organizations going in and testing that corn on our own, doing the government's job for it, this scandal would never have come out, and this potential health risk to humans never would have been discovered.
En los Estados Unidos, 3 agencias velan por la seguridad de los alimentos modificados. El Departamento de Agricultura evalúa los impactos ambientales de los cultivos genéticamente modificados y regula las pruebas de campo. Pero un estudio de más de 8,000 solicitudes para realizar pruebas de campo mostró que el departamento no solicitó ni un solo estudio de impacto ambiental. La Agencia de Protección Ambiental regula el uso de insecticidas. El BT, un insecticida natural, se inserta en cada célula de los cultivos genéticamente diseñados. La Administración de Drogas y Alimentos vela por la seguridad de los alimentos. Cualquier sustancia nueva en un alimento debe ser examinada.
When the biotech companies went to get regulatory approval, they did so on the basis that what they were doing was substantially equivalent, was the term which was being used, substantially equivalent to classical breeding practices, and therefore it should not be regulated in any way. At the same time, however, companies have insisted on patenting their products, and in order to get a patent, it has to be different than anything else. So on the one hand, we're saying it's very different because we want to patent it. On the other hand, it's substantially equivalent, so don't bug us with regulation.
Substantial equivalency is obviously nonsense. These, at the cellular level, again, these foods have bacteria, viruses, new genetic constructs that no other foods ever had in history. They're clearly not equivalent.
Como los organismos modificados son considerados equivalentes a los alimentos normales, se clasifican como generalmente reconocidos como seguros y el gobierno no exige pruebas ni etiquetas especiales.
To me, one of the most incomprehensible things about U.S. policy is that we do not even require the labeling of genetically engineered foods.
El jarabe de maíz y la lecitina de soya contienen varios de estos organismos. En el 2002, una madre del estado de Oregon invirtió $2,000 para exigir el etiquetado de organismos modificados.
How can we trust the same multinational corporations that told us that PCBs, DDT, and dioxin are safe? They don't even want us to know what it is that we're eating. The FDA ignored their own scientists' warnings about the dangers of genetically engineered foods. This is our children's future we're talking about. Let's join 25 other countries that require labeling. It doesn't cost their farmers or consumers anymore. Vote yes on 27. Let's label genetically engineered foods.
La iniciativa fue derrotada por una campaña de $4.6 millones que mostraba una agricultora parecida a la madre.
The last thing we need is more government red tape, more bureaucracy, and higher costs. But that's exactly what Oregon farmers, consumers, and taxpayers would get if Measure 27 passes.
Según encuestas, 80 a 90% de los estadounidenses quieren etiquetar los alimentos modificados. Pero la Ley del Derecho a la Información sobre Alimentos Genéticamente Modificados, que ha sido propuesta reiteradas veces desde 1999, aún no ha sido sometida a votación.
The public in Europe has reacted with anger and concern at the idea that genetically engineered food products will be on their supermarket shelves. The latest polls showed at least 75% of the European public do not want genetically engineered food.
Respondiendo a sus ciudadanos, los 15 países de la Unión Europea adoptaron reglamentos que exigen el etiquetado de alimentos genéticamente modificados.
But I think there's a very good reason why the corporations have fought so hard against this labeling. It isn't just about consumer choice. Without labeling, there's no real traceability for the health effects of genetically engineered foods. If you're a mother and you're feeding your baby infant formula, and it's not labeled that it's genetically engineered with soy, for example, and your child has a toxic or allergic reaction, there's no way you're going to know that that was caused by genetic engineering because it's not on the label. If, however, it is on the label, then you can say, you know what, maybe that contributed to this response in my child. You go to your doctor records it, and there's traceability, and we can begin to get a database on the health effects. And of course, once that database is created, then we have liability to the corporations. So they're opposing labeling, not just because it creates choice and they're afraid that their products will not be bought, but also because labeling is the key way we can trace the health effects of genetically engineered foods and the key way to get the corporations liable for these health effects.
Los japoneses están muy preocupados por los efectos de los alimentos genéticamente modificados. Un oficial de gobierno declaró: "Observaremos a los niños de Estados Unidos durante los próximos 10 años".